Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm very excited. I'm so excited. Hmm. So, this is an update I've been looking forward to. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, the last update I gave you guys was here when I the email that I got from the Turkish embassy. I'm not quite sure that I filmed that video. I'm not sure. I think I thought of it. I know. I'm gonna see if I did. I might have. I'm not sure. But anyway, I got this email from the Turkish embassy. After I had applied for the visa, and they said that there were no more slots left for the year, and I'd have to wait until next year, to get a slot. And I left it at that. I was very discouraged. I was so discouraged. I went into a really dark place. Like, I've been trying to get to do this update. So here we are. Finally, I get to sit down and tell you what this is about. So, the last time I heard from the Turkish embassy was when they sent me this email right up here, saying that there were no slots for appointment for the rest of the year, and that I'd have to check. I'd have to check in next year for to do it. I called them just to make sure that the email I'd gotten was the right email, because there was no, as you can see, nobody signed it. So it was just like message no. It doesn't say who it is from, what department they're in, and all that. So I just called the embassy to find out if that was right, and they said yes, they were fully booked until mid next year. So that if I wanted to make any reservations or any appointment from the application that I had made this year in May, that I would have to wait for a whole year. Yeah. So I just got so disappointed. I got so depressed, because when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then suddenly that light is taken away, because that's what it felt like. I had already narrowed down after a lot of research. I'd put in a lot of work, so I had already narrowed down to the doctor, to where I was going, to all that, right? And then this shows up, and yeah, I felt so deflated. And I had asked the doctor to send me an appointment letter, showing that, patient appointment letter, confirmation letter, so that it could help with the application. Well, it didn't help much. So I reached out again to the coordinator I was working with at that time, and I said, "Hey, are you able to help?" And he just bailed out on me, just to put it short, because it was just days of yeah, I'm checking. Oh yeah, I'm following up. Oh yeah, and then finally he just stopped writing. Finally, he just stopped answering me. So I kind of left it at that. Which was sad, because I really wanted to support his business, because he just newly branched out and started his own thing. He's been doing it with Turkish doctors for a long time, where he's been taking people from Denmark there and being the travel coordinator. And a friend of mine traveled with her. No, sorry, a friend of mine traveled with him and had a really good experience. And since he has lived in Denmark and speaks Danish, he understands the Danish system. There was just so many things that counted for why I wanted to work with him. But when he just built out on me, I was like, yeah, well, I don't know what to do. But, and this is the important thing, when you are looking for doctors, when you're looking for a place, and especially when you're thinking Turkey, because there are many providers, there are many service providers, depending on where you're coming from. And actually, to be quite honest, there are many clinics, and they all have travel coordinators. So it doesn't really matter where you're coming from. If you get a hold of a clinic, you can get, they'll appoint a travel coordinator that is attached to you, that's able to help you, and is the one that you deal with the whole time. So because I knew that, I had narrowed it down, and that's why it's also important in your research, when you're researching, that you're not just researching one person or one clinic, that you're researching several. You are doing your due diligence. So I had done my due diligence, and I had my top 5. I I know that's excessive. I'm not saying that you must have 5. I had my top 5 just because, you know, you never know. Again, I'm traveling with a passport that nobody has worked with before. So I knew I needed to cover my bases, but also it was because I had done a lot of research and done pros and cons on every single thing, on every clinic, what they did, what they offered, what the travel coordinators, how the travel coordinators were, what service I got with them, if they answered my questions, you know, if the doctors were accessible, if the surgeon was accessible, anytime I needed to make an appointment, that if I wanted to talk, if I had a question and I wanted to specifically talk to the surgeon, that they would make it a priority and schedule an appointment with the surgeon that was going to do my surgery. You know, I had like really done all that, and so I had my top 5, but I was basically working with my top 3. So that in the top 3, so I had that one. The top one was a one with the Danish speaking travel coordinator. That was my top number 1, because of course, as I mentioned, he knows the Danish system. There was just so much. It was going to be so much easier for me to use them, because he understands the system here. It was going to be a good transition back and forth, so I wouldn't need to do a lot of work, you know. And that's all. I mean, it should count for something, because you are paying for the service. So they were my number 1. And when he bailed out and just stopped answering, I thought, okay, I need to then look down at my other guys and see if they're willing to help. So what I did, I reached out to the rest. So I had a top 5, so I reached out to all the other 4, and I wrote to them and I told them the situation, told them that I had, you know, tried to apply for a visa, and that's what had happened, and if they were willing to help me figure out the rest, if they were willing to go in and call the embassy and maybe talk to them and see if they could maybe get me an emergency appointment, or how that was gonna be. And they got back to me. Actually, all 4 got back to me. One got back to me and said, well, they don't have experience dealing with people who do not have European passports, so they didn't have that. They didn't think that they had the capacity to take on the case, especially when it was just for one client. So they would focus their energy elsewhere, which is okay. I said, well, thank you very much, and that was it. So they kind of got off. So now I'm left with 3 on the table, and the 3 were willing to you know, to go into to help me figure it out. But in these 3, I had the one that had said that they were not willing to, you know, to go to the lengths for me, because I was the only one with a funny passport or whatever, with a non-EU passport. They were part of my top 3. So they were actually number 3 on my list. So my number 1 and number 3 are off. So I have number 2, number 4, and number 5 left. And so when I reached out, they were all willing to help. And I have to say that the number 4 and number 5, it was not so much the care that put them on those numbers. It was actually the price. It was a price. It's because they both had packages where you would choose a normal package and then a VIP package, and then also the number 5 actually had 3 packages: a standard package, a VIP package, and then a VVIP package. I work in the hotel industry. I work in the tourism industry. Have worked in the tourism industry literally most of my life. And I know what happens when you start grading people like that. I don't think that is something that I want in the health sector. I honestly do not. Because this is accessible. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in another video. I think it's important to get into that. Anyway, so now I was left with number 3, who did not have a VIP and whatever package, but they also had their price was also good, and it was all inclusive. and then I have these other two that have different kind of packages that I have to pick. Yeah, so they were willing to go out to do the work for me, but I kind of wanted to focus on number two because they were part of my top three. So I called them. I scheduled an appointment and called, and we talked about it, and he was actually the one who was working the fastest, which was just a blessing. He was the one who was working the fastest, so he got back to me before the other two had gotten back to me and said, "Hey, I've gotten information on how we're going to do this. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply for you." Make another application for you. So you send me the documents, everything that you sent. I'm going to give you a list of what you need to send me, and then I will make the application for you from this side. So as the as the doctors inviting me for the surgery, because it's medical tourism, so, that he had found out that there was a caveat. There's a special rule about it, or there's a special docket. So because I had applied for a tourist visa, which is what I had been advised to do, and because medical tourism, right? But no, they actually have a special docket for that, which is interesting. Anyway, so he goes ahead and applies for me, and he gets a reply. He applies for me. I sent everything that I need, and he applies for it. But while we're waiting, because I had already bought the ticket, this thing requires for you to have bought a ticket, which is buy an open ticket, buy a flexible ticket, and make sure that your insurance is one of those that can refund if you like cover your bases, because I lost money on the one ticket. Anyway, yeah, so they got back to me. He got back to me and he sent me the confirmation, and he was keeping me updated all the time, about the status, if the status are changed, like from the application to the application received to the, the application was being processed, and I think from the time that he sent those papers in, he sent them on Monday. What is today? Today is so on Wednesday. He sent the last of the papers on Wednesday, because they then needed, after we had made the first application, they then contacted him and said that they wanted the last one last requirement, and that was for my insurance, my travel insurance. They wanted a specific. I have an annual travel insurance that covers the whole world, but they wanted a specific one that covered those dates. To be able to continue processing the application. So I reached out to my insurance. They sent me a letter, which I sent then back to him, and then I also needed to pay a deposit. I need to pay a deposit for 1,000 euros to my doctor, which I also did, and then transferred the receipt to them, and that was done on Monday. Wednesday at about 4:00 p.m. they call me. The embassy in Copenhagen calls me and says, "You have an appointment tomorrow at 2:30." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm working tomorrow. Can we schedule it next week?" And they're like, "That's the only slot I have. Take it or leave it." I'm like, "Okay, taking it. I'll see you tomorrow." Then have to call my boss. Oh gosh, I thank God for my boss and my colleagues. They have been really, really supportive in this. And we called my boss and got that fixed, and then that's then here we are in Copenhagen. So I was supposed to come in yesterday, which was Thursday, at 2:30, and I handed in my application. So I had to come in and give in all my papers and take biometric. That's actually where you come. For the biometric. For them to be able to take the biometric particulars. So that means, the face thing and the finger things, whatever. Yeah. And then I think I was standing there for all of 5 minutes and I had to pay, of course, for the visa. That's also why you come. So when I was there, he now officially took my application, because the other one was made online and they were handling it. So they needed to make sure that they had all the documents. So now they also told me to bring hard copies of everything that I had sent, which I did. And then he took them, confirmed that everything was there. And then I had to make a payment, which was I think 435 Danish kroner for the visa, and then he then told me it was going to take 36 hours. They were going to get an answer in a maximum of 36 hours, which shocked me. It shocked me because I had, prior to that, I had gone and done my research on visas to Turkey, and processing times can take up to like 9 months from the day that you hand in your stuff. Like 9 months, literally 9 months after you've done that first appointment, you can wait 9 months to get a visa. Danes wait 3 months. 3 months if you're going to work there, like 3, 4, 5 months. You can be waiting for you to be able to go and collect your visa. It's crazy. Anyway, so I was shocked when he said 36,000. I looked at him and he said, "Yeah, this is a medical tourism. So 36 hours is I can't get the answer back today, but tomorrow I should be able to know. Tomorrow by 3 o'clock, I'll call you and let you know whether you can come pick up your visa tomorrow or on." Or on Monday, because of course Friday or they don't open the weekends. And I was like, wow. So that's why I actually decided to stay. I was not coming to stay in Copenhagen, but I thank God, thank God that I work for a chain of hotels that has hotels everywhere. So I was able to get a staff booking and spend the night, which is nice. So I am just getting ready to get out, to head on out. So I'm literally wearing the same clothes because I was not planning to come to stay. So so I'm waiting for 3 o'clock. I'm gonna tour a little bit. Meet up. I have a few friends living in Copenhagen, so I'm gonna meet up with them for brunch and hang out until as I wait for the meeting at 3 o'clock to be able to talk to the embassy. So fingers crossed that I get the visa today. If I don't, then I'll have to come back on Monday, which means I'll bring my kids with me on Sunday. We'll come in on Sunday. I've arranged to. I actually have a shift on Monday. It's an evening shift, but I've arranged to beauty what's that word? I have the word in English. I don't have it in English. Beauty is to. I've managed to exchange or swap. I've managed to swap my shift with someone. So oh my gosh, let me tell you, this thing takes a village. If you do not have support, please don't even think of starting to get this surgery done. Like this, I've not even gotten the surgery, but the amount of support that I have needed from my network, from my colleagues, from my boss, from my family, from my friends, it's crazy. So support is such an important aspect of this journey. You need support because curveballs come from everywhere. So yeah, I'm thankful that I do have a very good support system. I really do, and I'm thankful for my boss. Oh, she's just a darling. That woman, she's just a darling. Yeah, and we are. My time mentioned that we're in high season. School's closed today, so today becomes high season. So our hotel is going to be filled with guests and all that, and yet there's an understanding, yet there's a grace that they're giving me, and my colleagues are just willing to support and to move things around to accommodate me. I can't take that for granted. I am very, very grateful, very, very grateful. Yeah, so that's an update. That's where we are at. So now I'm just checking out and heading out to meet a friend of mine for brunch. Actually, just had a little bit of breakfast here just to see how it looks like here. I needed to do some things here. So I had a little bit of breakfast there, and then now I am going to head out to meet my friend for brunch. Maybe I'll show you that. Maybe I should show you that. I'll show you that. Yeah, and then I'll have to maybe get a new dress. I don't know. Let's see if I'm in Copenhagen. If they're sales, I'll maybe get a new dress. You might see me in another dress later on. Yeah. So thank you for staying for this update, and I guess I'll see you later. Yeah. See you. So great news, you guys. So the embassy just called and they said I should go and pick up my visa. So I am on the way. I just got off the metro. They called like maybe 10 minutes ago, and I am rushing. Got off the metro. I didn't have time to talk to you guys then, but now I have time because I'm waiting for the bus. The bus that takes me there. It comes in 6 minutes, and then I think I have a 6-minute walk to the embassy, and then I get my thing finished today. Oh, I am so happy that it's finally coming together. I am so delighted. This is such it's such a blessing. It is such a blessing. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you the next time I see you. I am going to be brandishing, showing you my visa. Yeah, so let's talk in a while. So guys, I finally made it. This is like maybe an hour after the last time that we talked. I made it to the embassy. I got the visa. I got my passport. That took it took 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and I was done with them. And then I tried to rush to the train station to catch the bus, the next bus that was driving to where I live, because I couldn't get any flights flying out, this evening. So I had to take the bus, and I had booked a 6:20 bus because I wanted to be sure that I was going to make it. So it turns out that that I could have actually made the other one, but actually got late by like a minute. So I decided to kind of sit and wait at the train station. So I'm waiting. It's like in an hour's time I'm gonna be taking the bus home. Yeah, the kids are fine. They've been like good troopers. They've had a friend of mine has been taking care of them. So like I said, you need to have support. You have to have a network that supports you, to have a network that that encourages you and is there for you, not just like emotionally, but also like practically, the practical things that if you're gonna travel, you will need, if you don't, even if you don't need to apply for a visa, some of these places actually allow you to travel with someone for the same price. Actually, you can travel with one person who accompanies you, and if you're doing that, then you will need somebody with you to help you, to help you figure that out. So I think support is a big part of it. It's a really, really huge part of it. I think it's one of those things that that you might. This is one of those things that you might want to do alone, because you don't want to be judged, for having taken the easy way. And when I've watched a lot of people who've documented their journeys, and they say that for them, some chose to go alone, and one of the reasons that they all say was that they were scared they were going to be judged by people, because they, it would look like they had taken the easy way out. And this is why I go in and say, but in your circle of friends, in your network, people who are going to support you, people who are for you. So I guess those are the people that you reach out to, and you don't have to tell everybody that not everybody that I know knows that I'm doing this and that I'm going through this, and actually a lot of them will find out from these vlogs. But for me, it's important to have and to tell people that I think are relevant to know, right? And the people that I know can give me the support that I need. So that's what I would advise you to do. If you're thinking of doing this, it's very important that you have a network. You will not be able to do this alone. It's you can be able to do it alone, but it's going to be very, very difficult for you, because there's also the psychological aspect, there's the emotional aspect of it. You need someone to help you. You really need someone to help you, even the physical part of it. Someone to help you do rounds at the hotel, at the hospital. Someone to help you shop. Someone want to help look out for you, look after you. So I think it's important. It's very important that you have support. Yeah. So this is getting a bit noisy. So I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna end this vlog here. I don't think there's any more information that I have to tell you, regarding this journey. Apart from the fact that I get my bus and go back home today, and I'm going to go and see my kids tonight. So they're gonna wait up for me. Yeah. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've been able to take something away from it. I will be answering all the questions you have. Just put them down in the comment section. I will answer all of them. And if you need help, let me know. I can help connect you to the people that I've used. If you need help with visa and all that, because now they're used to, they will at least tried applying for a Kenyan passport. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'm excited to have you on this journey. Until next time, bye, Harry.